Alright, I have another project and I wasn't going to show this. I've got so many projects, and excuse me that my porch is so messy. You'll see some of this because this porch is also like a workshop. But here is a cabinet. There's a drawer. I've already taken the hardware off because I wasn't going to film any of this. But I decided, since so many of us live on extreme low income, it may help someone to know that some of those pieces of furniture that you see on the side of the road for free, you can do something with it, even if they're not quality pieces. So bear with me, and if this is not for you, then fine. This literally is not a quality piece. But I live in a mobile home, and for those of y'all, and yeah, it is a double wide, those of y'all that know, usually mobile homes really are low on storage. So I paid $15 for this. And for me, even though it was low quality, it was well worth $15. I want to show you, I'm going to point out some things, and hopefully it'll come through. There's whelps and bumps. There's where some color has come off. It's almost like a Formica top. The lighting out here is horrible. It just, down there is even a water issue. But I'm hoping to be able to show you at the end of all this. I'm keeping this one once I finish it for myself. But I like to give people ideas. They even patched the hole in the back. This was one of those cutout pieces that probably was possibly an entertainment center, or you put your microwave, and had the hole cut out in the back for electric. But what I'm going to do on this one too, please forgive me, this is horrible. I am chalk painting this one as well. Okay, let me try this again. This is the chalk paint I am using. It's called Light Mint, and it's another one of those Hello Hobby 8 fluid ounces that I caught on sale last year, I think for $1.67, which I think is well worth it. I poured some of it out in just, of course, one of my Tupperware dishes, and I have some water right close by, and I don't know if you can see, because I'm really wanting to stress the fact, don't let substandard pieces scare you. I would never flip this to sell it to someone unless I told them the whole story and showed it. This is bowed up just a little bit here, just I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if it's coming through. Here's it's just a mess. I took the hardware off, and I showed a minute ago. I am starting to go ahead and begin the chalk paint process. I'm not sure if this is not particle board. It may be what's called wafer board or paper board. I look at things differently than a lot of people. If it starts having problems, water damage, for example, like is on the other side over here, you know what, folks? I think I've said this before. If you start seeing some swelling on your furniture inside your home, you've got more to worry about than this $15 item that I bought to redo for myself. But look how pretty that's doing. And we're not doing step by step all of it. Just pour you out some paint here. This is not even a chalk paintbrush. I dip it in the water just a little bit. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then I'm just doing a light coat. And with water, with chalk paint, you can go, I'm watching some of these people, they're going in every which direction. The first thing I want to do on this first coat is do a light first coat. And then I will come around, stand, And I'm going to do the whole thing this way. Okay, here is the worst part of the entire piece. This is obviously water damage. It curdled it. It hasn't gone all the way through. I'll show you what I'm going to do with this, but for right now, I'm just gonna paint. I'm gonna get some paint on it. Just paint it just like you would. Just paint it just like you would if it wasn't damaged, because that's going to help seal it. Do I recommend this for anybody and everybody to do this particular thing? No. I am gearing this exact piece and this exact video for people who really can't even go to Walmart and buy a piece of their solder furniture. Okay? There are things out there. I know some people would like us poor people to think, well, there's nothing you can do. You made bad choices. You're stuck with it. Well, that's usually a certain amount of truth, too, at least with myself. But you're not stuck with it. There's things you can do. And I forgot to explain a while ago, just in case some of y'all don't know, whenever I use that word whitewash, whitewash isn't a color. It means watered down. Whether you're whitewashing the truth or whether you're whitewashing paint, it's called whitewashing. You're watering down the truth. You're watering down the paint. In painting, it can be a good thing. In the truth, I have to say, when it comes down to telling the truth, I don't trust people too much that like to whitewash. They throw a little bit of nugget of truth in with a whole bunch of watered down non-truth. All right, this went down. I finished whitewashing it yesterday, and my mother, excuse me, and my sister and my brother came down for a visit for a little while yesterday, which my brother's probably wishing he hadn't, because I asked him, I showed you the bottom of it, and I said, don't worry about it, that would be taken care of, to where that water damage, you wouldn't be able to tell. I had some 1x4s. Yeah, y'all were giving it a safety inspection. So I gave him the 1x4s, and this, he cut them. Excuse me, it's hard to have this on a stand, so I'm trying to tote it. And did this like this to where it's deliberate. And to make it seem more deliberate, he did a piece in the front too, because that was not the best quality either. And then here on the side. The thing is, when you do it uniformly, it literally will look like, hey, that was designed that way. Now, all I did yesterday was quite literally whitewash it, which I already explained to y'all what that was. And plus, I had to load it up by myself in the back of my SUV station wagon looking thing. But look at this. Remember that? I had some Luan that I had bought 2 or 3 years ago, back whenever my brother and I did do a lot of flipping together. Mine is the arty-farty part of it. There's that sort of wavy. And his is the talent of it. So, remember the cardboard? The genius cardboard in the center? Well, now it's Luan. Sadly, he found out once he was working on it that bottom hinge there is not working very well. So, I may have to order some magnets. If y'all know what the magnets are that go up under here. I'll either have to buy some more hinges, or buy the magnets and put a magnet on each side to where it will hold the door closed. But look at the difference already. Now I am going to do the official painting. But here's the rough spots that I was talking about. I'm going to do the official painting now. But since painting is painting, I will save y'all the watching the whole process. I will do at least one coat, maybe two, because I had watered this down so badly. And I'm loving that color, but naturally it's going to have to come a thicker color. Then I'll get back with you. But I told you, this will, by the time I'm done, I would never even attempt or dream to sell this as a quality piece. But by the time I am done, it's going to be fine in my home or someone else's home. Yeah, I am too old to be loading this thing up, anything this size by myself. Excuse me, I had to load it up and take it down to his workshop. And then I had to load it back and unload it into here. Thank goodness that this double door right here I use as a loading dock. I can swing both of these open, back a truck or my SUV right to here, and literally come right to the door. And with a proper amount of grunting and groaning, I can unload almost anything. Okay. Alright, I put some stain on here yesterday, but you leave it on just a little while and then you wipe it off. It didn't change it much at all. So I'm not really going to do a textured, but I'm going off the chain, y'all. I mean, unhooked, unhinged. I am going to take, this is a wax brush, chalk wax, and I'm just going to mix up some colors, and I'm going to do this number. I may wind up having to redo everything. I mean, whenever I said I'm off the rails, I'm doing it. I'm going to try something. And I have tried this before, actually, in my bathroom, believe it or not. And I was going to show you what my bathroom looked like, but the guest bathroom is so small I can't really even get it in there to take some pictures. Number one, doing this is going to kind of sort of texture this, and I'm hoping it will hide some of this. And it's also, I don't think I'm even going to blend the colors. I'm just going to let it do its thing. Bear with me. This is right up there, redneck chic. I'm going to tell you right now. I ain't ashamed. Some of my best works have been sort of pieces that was like, oh no, you are not doing that. I am. And I'm just making this up as I go. So, this color is kind of a beige. I can't even get it in there. And of course, the colors are going to be crossing over. That's fine. I know it looks insane right now. And since I'm not going to film the entire thing, I'll show you the other color that I'm going to do. And I'm using a different paintbrush with each one of these. And there are different size paintbrushes too, to be honest with you. Okay, here's gray. And with it, this will leave it kind of a textured, which I'm hoping is going to completely cover up those flaws that was on there. Sometimes people come out of your comfort zone and do something that just, take a chance. Take a chance. What's the worst that'll happen? What's the worst that'll happen is I have to sand this just a little bit and hit it again with paint. It ain't no big deal. Alright, so I'm going to play with some colors. And I probably am only going to use it at the top. Oh, here in the film, that really looks bad. I've got it so close up. It looks so much better in person. But let me finish playing here. Let me get finished going insane, and then we'll look at it later. Boy, the lighting on this porch is just horrible. In the film, this looks horrible. In person, it looks really cool. I'm not finished, but I did go ahead and bring it down the side, this lip, just a little bit. And once it dries, boy, in this end of the camera, this really looks like, excuse me, doo-doo caca. But with my, just looking at it straight on with my natural eye, it looks kind of cool. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to do some of this blue or something very close to it. My goal is to hopefully tie it all in. Man, that looks nasty here in this picture. We shall see. But I am bold. At my age, I've made so many mistakes, both in my life and in my flipping and all of it. That's how you learn, folks. Wow, this lighting just gets worse and worse. Here in person, I'm telling you, this looks really cool. And somehow or another, I missed a couple, looks like paintbrush things there. How aggravating. And I even had my glasses on whenever I did this. And I come out a while ago and tried to do this. Well, maybe that's one already pulled out. Sometimes you just have to quit. Alright, so now I've put some of the original color on here. And I'm going to use this to cover up some of these things. You see the texture that definitely is coming on here? It's going to cover up all those little imperfections here. And once I finish this and get it to a point to where I'm pleased with the look of it, I'm telling y'all, this looks so much better in person than it does in this film. I don't know why, but it does. But once I get this to where I'm satisfied with it and I like it, and it seems to be more blendy and cohesive and eclectic, boho chic, or lifestyles of the poor and tasteless, whatever it is, once I'm pleased with it, then all I have left to do is hit it another. I'm going to put a few coats of the acrylic or polyacrylic on top, because that's where a lot of your stress is going to be. The way I put things, I showcase some of my stuff. So I'm going to polyacrylic at least one or two more coats. I've already got one coat all the way around, and I'll put probably 3 coats or maybe even 4 up top here. I'll put the hardware on, and then I will finish up. This is going to be so redonkulously long, and what I probably will do on this one, just like I did in that one about the totally reimagining that little drop leaf table, I probably will do a little part at the beginning showing the finished and then where it started, so that those of y'all that just want the instantaneous, oh yeah, it started like this and it finished in this, good on you, then you can see that. But every once in a while somebody may want to see the entire thing just to give them ideas, because I'm telling you, I make some of this stuff up. I just think it up and I make it up and do it. So here we go. Man, I hope this looks as good on here as it does in person. Okay, here's the finished product, and it's in its place. I swear in these pictures it does not look as good as it does in person. This place is a mess, sorry. But Now I do have a little bit of touch up. I put the little door catch. I put little bumper things on here. Before I put the bumper thing on, that happened. But I like it. It's very functional. I think it's pretty. The good thing about when you do your own, do what makes you feel good. Do what you like. Don't be afraid to try things. We are not all made exactly alike, and it's just fine. The Lord made us each unique, and you can do the same thing with put your own touch on things. I love you. God loves you. Take care. Have a beautiful weekend.